from KathyskutekreationUS. See, now that got her to giggle. Alrighty, so today, what I'm going to do, first let me explain it to you.
Wait. Can we move? Can we make this? Can we quilt it today?
That's perfect for what I'm doing right here.
Yay! Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, I guess that was a change of plans. A little bit about what I was doing.
Changing pans.
A little.
Oops,
Okay,
sorry,
so
baby.
you probably saw Megan put this on Facebook. This is her little
Table topper.
And she chose this cute little fabric right here to put behind it. Isn't that adorable? And so what I was going to introduce today and explain to you that when I ordered from the Missouri Star Quilt Company and my order came, it had some batting in it. And I thought, all right, I know I didn't order batting because I get it in a roll. So I'm thinking, well, what the heck did they send me by accident? And come to find out, it was, let me see if I can read it to do it justice here.
It's Pellon.
It is Pellon fusible fleece. Well, I've never used it before. So, of course, you know, I called them up because I said, I got my order, but there was an extra thing in it. I said, you guys sent me some fusible fleece by mistake. Do you want it back? And she goes, no, that's all right. If it's our mistake, we have no problem with it. And she checked my order, made sure the order number was right. So I did have my order, but somehow an extra little something got in there. So then when Megan said that she wanted her little thing, what was it, table topper? Her little table topper, lost my train of thought. Her table topper done, I said, well, you know, I could probably use the fleece if I have enough. So I was looking for it because the table runner I made with the card tricks, I want to use this fleece on. Sure enough, I found out I had a whole bunch of it over there. I had forgotten how much I had. And look at this amount. That's quite a bit. Oh, let me give you the code. I don't know if they've got different numbers for their Pellon fleece.
987F.
Okay, and so I'm going to make this for the first time, so follow me along. And then if you guys are interested in it, I hear it's pretty easy to use, and we're going to find out. So I'll do her little table topper before I do the actual table runner.
Just don't mess up, okay?
Oh, pressure. Okay, let's get started. Now, hopefully I don't knock the camera around too much. I laid out her top here, right here. And I'm going to slowly start at the end down there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go real slow. Now I've got it sticking out of the edge right here. So all I want to do is make sure that it's actually on the fabric and not the batting. Because remember now, this is the fusible batting. So I don't want that to get on top of my iron here because it'll make a mess out of my iron. So I'm just going to slowly go back and forth with it. She's already told me she doesn't feel like it's perfect on the top, but that's okay. I'm just going to the edge. And now the directions say that if you want to make it a little tougher on there, that you can actually take damp piece of fabric, a cloth, and put it on top of this for 10 to 15 seconds. I'm going to turn my touch off. Okay, so now it's not going to go up and down. It's one of the features on here. You can have it so that when you let go, it stays down. It doesn't go up. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to do the damp cloth on here. And I'm just going to slowly, I'm going to put it on my highest wool silk setting. This way it won't be too hot. If you get it too hot, then your glue will not adhere. Okay, so that's what you want to do. Like I said, I'm going right to the edge. I have to lift it up because remember now I don't have my piece to make it come up. So I take it and test it and see if I can pull that apart. I cannot, therefore that's good. So we're going to keep going here. And I put it at the edge of my batting with my fabric because my batting is cut a little bit bigger, but I don't want it getting on the iron, so I'm just going to go right on the edge. Just pay attention. You know, if you don't have the corners of it, that's fine. You can always pin that down, but I don't think it's going to have an issue. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull, make sure my iron doesn't fall. I'm going to slowly pull this to me. right here. You can see this is the batting over here, so I don't want to be touching that stuff. So I'll just continue right here. Just like that. Just slowly go that way with it. She said it wasn't perfect, it was a little wobbly. I told her that was fine, the quilting will take care of that. And I'm just doing the top piece with this fusible. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my bottom piece and I will go ahead and lay it out. Although, since she didn't really give me a binding piece, I may have to use the back. I don't know if she wants to use the back for the binding or not. Maybe I better just stop before I do the binding, just so I know what she wants to use, because she didn't say. Now keep in mind that when you decrease the iron down to the wool silk, it will not be super duper hot, so it's going to take a few more minutes to get it to make the glue melt. And this project is small enough that I don't think it's going to require a lot of pinning. I will be making the back of my fabric a little bit bigger. I might just put a couple of straight pins on it. I'll look when I get done here. I'll tell you what I'm going to do after I decide. I don't want to be putting a lot of holes or anything in it like that. And also the directions said that if you want to make it thicker, you can put a couple of layers of this fusible on. I can't tell you the price because, like I said, I got this by mistake in a box. So I'm not sure how much it cost. They're probably different prices, but you can get it on the internet. Alright, let's stop with that. And I'm going to go ahead and trim it. I have it set out here on the table. I'm going to back up a little bit here. And because it is so small, I decided to go ahead and put the back on with this Web Bond, which is a spraying temporary adhesive. Alright. Make sure that your area's well ventilated. And all I did was laid this fabric down first, sprayed it in this little bit of area right here, and then I laid this down on it and then smoothed it out. So for the little bit of quilting that I'm going to do on it, it will stay put. It won't be shifting or anything because this isn't very big at all. Just to give you an idea how big my table is. That's how big the table is. So it's not that big. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to quilt it now. I'm just going to figure out. So I'm just going to do an overall, just meandering and all kinds of different things. So I don't have a foot on here. What I have on here is the free motion foot, so that I don't have to be worried about my foot pushing my fabric or whatever. This is me doing everything. I'm not going to be using any kind of designs that are on my machine or anything. Now I've got a 12 needle in here, and when you use this, if you're using your sewing machine, you remember now you have to drop your feed dog. That is the bottom of your foot that grabs the fabric, because you don't want it grabbing the fabric when you're moving the fabric yourself. Now I like to put gloves on, and these are the kind of gloves that I use right here. It's not a solid glove. The solid glove really makes my hand sweat, so I don't opt for that. I just want something to grip the bottom of the top part of the fabric. I just want to do this, grab it, and move it like that. It'll move. I don't need to put any kind of slider or anything on my table. And I'm using polyester thread in the top. And I'm just going to start here. I'm not going to do the orange yet because I'm not sure if I want to be switching my color. So I'm just going to start up here. Hopefully my hands are not too much in the way. And remember now, when you begin, you put your foot down, your needle down, your foot down, but you want to bring your needle back up because you want the bottom thread to come back up through your fabric. Otherwise you'll have a bird's nest, which is a big mess up underneath your sewing machine. So you pull that out, and the way that you lock it into place is just go right where you came up with your thread. You just tack it a couple times, so just go up and down. Now remember, this doesn't have a length. Normally it's a 0 because it's not going to make a length. You're going to make the length that you want. So now I've locked it into place. If you're one of those picky kind of people and you think you need to cut this, don't cut it yet, because if you do, your knot will come out. All right, so now you're just going to move around, and all I'm going to do is do some meandering here in this blue piece right here. If you've got any kind of tension you want to play with, now would be the time to do that. But don't forget now, use a practice sheet first. That's what I did before I started this. Because I've adjusted my foot already. I've adjusted everything I need to adjust. And you can barely see this fabric, this thread in this fabric. Which is okay, because I don't think she's going to mind. And now I've come to the corner over here. And now I need to decide whether I want to continue doing the meandering here, or do I want to do something else. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like a little wave. And then I notice now I haven't cut my thread or anything. I've just kept my thread. And I'm moving it. And it's just, you know, practice. Nothing needs to be perfect. All I'm doing is just doing some little practice. Haven't made it up. Now if you want to mark your fabric, you can mark it. You do whatever you want to do for you. You can mark your whole sheet up if you wanted to. Just going to do some little, I guess you call them little mountains or something. It's just whatever hits me. Go as fast or as slow as you want. Just try to keep it the same speed, so your stitches will be the same. And I'm going to go down here. Okay, now I have a choice to either keep it this direction, or I could turn my fabric, but I want to keep it going the same way because I'm just doing some practicing here. This doesn't need to be perfect. After all, it's going to be in the bathroom. All right, so now I think I want to do something back and forth like this, so let's do that. So I will just jump into the green, and yes, you can go sideways with this. You don't have to go all up and down. Your needle's just going to go straight up and down. I'm not going fast, so I'm not going to break my needle. And I'm going to come down here, and then I'm going to go like this. And actually, Megan could have done this by herself. Uh-oh, a dog just stepped on my foot on the pedal. But anyway, she doesn't have enough confidence in herself to be doing this, because I've seen some of her freehand work. She really does some good work. I don't know how I can convince her that what she does is really nice. Now this is an off-white color of thread, so I think that's why you can't really tell. It's sort of like a, it's not smoky, but it makes me think of a smoke color thread. Okay, now my choice is to either jump into this square or come down to this square and do something here. So I think I want to go ahead and do something in this one. Let's see, what do I want to do? I'm thinking about it. Let's see, do I want to do some kind of X? I could just do a zigzag back and forth. Let's jump over here to my white square. Let's just do that. Come down. Okay. Now going back would be a, I don't even think I need to go back. So let me see about going into this. Now here's where I'm going to turn it. I'm better at coming towards me than going away from me, so I'm going to turn it around here. And I'm going to go into this square over here. So I'm just slowly going to the left. And I'm debating on whether to do the same thing. Actually, I think I'm going to go from corner to corner like that. Let's see, I'm not quite sure. No, I think I'm not going to do that. I think I'm going to do a smaller meandering in here. That's what I'm going to do. There we go. Yeah, I like this better. Do some practices on these little ones here. Maybe do some bubbles. There we go. And whenever I do these meandering, I try not to go over any of the lines. There are times that I do that, but then I don't call it meandering when I go over the lines. When I try to meander, I try not to repeat. I'm sorry. I try not to go over any of the lines that I've already made with my threads. I try to keep it all free. It's funny when you get down and you look at some of these, or other people look at them, they can actually make some little shapes out of them. They say that some of them look like a head or a cloud or a turtle or a horse, or not that you're trying to make that shape, but you want to go the same steady pace if you can. It'll make your stitches the same size. That's the reason for regulators in sewing machines. A regulator will actually keep your stitch the exact same size no matter what you do with your foot pedal. You can have it down to the metal, but it is not going to make it any bigger or smaller. If you do not have a regulator on it and you do it like this, which is freehand, yes, the stitches will be different. They'll be bigger, they'll be smaller, depending on how fast you move your hands. That's what's so important about stitch regulators, and I'm going to tell you, they are very, very expensive if you can afford them for your sewing machine. They have them for this machine, but they are over $500. But if you're like me and you just want to do a lot of practice, you won't need a stitch regulator. Now we're going to get ourselves on the other side over here. And let's see, I think I want to do a cross similar to that one over there, just to make this a bigger. So let me see here. I'm sorry I keep bumping that camera. Okay, and I think I'm going to go a little smaller though when I do it instead of so far away. There we go. That'll be a little bit different. And it's just kind of teaching you straight line. That's all it is. And believe me, I don't have that down yet. If I wanted it perfect, I could use a ruler. But I don't want to use a ruler on this. I love these little bitty projects like this. Now let's go right here to this corner. And now, for this little bitty space right here, which is the blue, I think maybe we just ought to do some circles. Let's do that. That sounds like it'd be pretty nice. Okay, let me fold my fabric here. Okay, there we go. I'm going to make some circles. Now, I can overlap when I make a circle. And I will show you these so that you have an idea of what they look like. Right back to where we started from, so I'm going to go ahead and lock it into place. I know lots of people say, don't lock it into place, don't ever quit. Keep it going, one single strand. But you know what? I don't want to do that. And as long as you remember to clip the back of it, I'm going to show you a close-up of this so you can see what I've been doing. Let me show you the back first so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, now hopefully that you can see this. Now notice, this is the reason for the tension. You don't see any eyelashes. That's what I call them, as eyelashes. And we only did this one little strip. This is what the back looks like. And then this is what it looks like when you tie it off. It's this little piece right here. And all you have to do is cut that off. And then I'm going to flip this over. Now here's where we started. And then we did this next. Then I did the back and forth. And then here you can see, let me move over here. I did this up and down. And then this is where I did the circles, the meandering, the small meandering. This is where I did the other, but I did, it's a smaller space. See how there's only one to the left, one to the right, one to the left, and one to the right. So there's two here, or three on one side and two on the other. But here's one 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. And then when we came to this side here, I said I was going to do the circles. And that's got a lot to do. See how they're all circles there? That's all that's down there, and that's all I did. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to complete and finish doing all over this quilt, just different things. I won't continue and do the same exact thing. Oh, and here's my beginning stitch on the other side. That was a piece of, I don't know what that was on this side, but here's the very beginning, and now would be the time to cut that. But you probably will never miss the top pieces of thread. It's the bottom that you normally miss because they blend in. So that's what I always cut. Every time I stop with the back side, I will flip it over and go ahead and cut it after I've locked it into place. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to continue, and when I get finished, I will show it to you. You guys go ahead and continue yours if you're working on something like this, and then I'll be back to show you the ending of it. Okay, I completed the whole thing. Yep, it's done. I think it's beautiful. It is gorgeous looking. Let's take a look at that back with all those crabs on it. Look at that. Isn't that nice? And all I did was meandering all along the edges there. Didn't take any time at all. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Make a comment if you would like. And I will see you next time. And thank you all my new subscribers for joining. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.